Hello, my friends. Executive Coach Ed DeCosta here with another episode of my Get Edified video blog. Today I'm going to answer that basic question, what does an executive coach do? I get asked it frequently. I was just asked it yesterday by a team of leaders, a leadership team that I was working with on a workshop, and it was more of a training. And one of them made the observation about coaching, that coaching wasn't just one-on-one customized training. And it actually is not training. And so we had a conversation about what coaching really was all about. None of these executives had ever been coached. So they had quite a number of misconceptions, and maybe you have some of the same. So I'm going to give you my perspective. There's lots of information out there that you can go find on your own. And I honor other people's way of describing it. This is just my way. First of all, you've heard me talk about in the past, and this blog may be a little bit longer than most, because of the subject. My three favorite words as it pertains to personal professional development: awareness, intentionality, and accountability. Well, a coaching relationship is all about helping the client perform at a higher level. And because I'm an executive coach, typically I'm working with an executive, and their measurement of results is typically the business's results, because that's quantifiable, that's tangible. So it's an awareness. It starts with an awareness of what? Of where they are today and where they want to be. So you could call it goal setting if you want, but we set some objectives. We create some metrics, some measurables. How are you performing as a leader, as an executive, as a communicator? And how would you like to perform? And how would you know you reached that objective or that level of performance? So it starts with awareness, intentionality. Now that we've identified a gap, a performance gap between where you are and where you want to be, what are your intentions to get there, to close that gap? So what specific actions are necessary? When are you at your best? When are you at your worst? What are the circumstances that bring out the worst in you? What are the things that you do that typically are associated with great performance, you at your best, so to speak? So what are your intentions moving forward? What things are you going to do to maximize the number of times you're at your best and minimize the times where you're not? And then, of course, the accountability piece, that's a big part of coaching, is to be an accountability partner. I view myself as a thinking partner or a sounding board. We're not giving answers. We're not telling you how to run your business, but we're asking you questions, and we're listening very, very carefully for not only what you're saying, but how you're saying it. We're asking you about alternatives. Have you considered other alternatives to solving a particular problem or challenge? Maybe it's a human resources issue. Maybe it's a communication issue. Maybe it's a vendor or supplier or customer issue. What are the best practices that organizations use to address and resolve such issues, and have you considered these? But again, it's not telling them what to do. It's essentially asking them provocative questions, recognizing fully that the client has the answers. They're resourced to answer these questions, whether they believe so or not. It's remarkable how resourced some senior executives are and not realize it. So it's uncovering that untapped potential that they have. Identifying blind spots that they may have, some career limiting, if they're middle-level executives, or behaviors that are limiting their effectiveness. Quite often it's about communication. It's about the culture in the organization and how the leader has such an enormous impact on the culture. You influence each and every person in that organization. You're on camera or on stage, I like to say, really at all times. And so your behavior, the way you conduct yourself, is very, very important. And again, it's hard. The crown is heavy, but that's why you get, the comp packages, and that's why you have the authority and responsibility that you have, because people are watching you. What about your relationships? It's all about relationships. Again, relationships around 360 degrees. Your peers, your subordinates, the people that you report to, if any. Many of them are owners or C-level executives, but if it's publicly traded, they report to a board of directors. So they have people that they must answer to and be accountable to. And so a coach is quite often not the only person, but one of the few people that they can speak to completely confidentially, off the record, and just sounding board, bounce ideas off of, and particularly in areas of communication and relationship building. It's incredibly valuable because those tend to have a direct influence on the results that they get as executives and for their organization. So that's my thumbnail sketch of what an executive coach does. Again, my name is Ed DeCosta. I hope you found this helpful, and wherever you are, make it a great day.